Okay, so this is St Helens. Crucially, the people who are watching this are going to fall into three categories. You may have applied before lockdown, in which case you may have met with the tutors, had an interview, and be assured of your place. If that's the case, brilliant. You may have applied since lockdown and had an email confirmation of place. If that's the situation that you're in, you will no doubt have already had a phone conversation with a tutor, or if not, within the next couple of weeks, just to firm up the offer. If, however, you're looking at this webinar and you haven't yet applied and you think after listening to the webinar to apply to St Helens College is something that you may like to do, the applications this year are still open. We've extended them. And the way to apply is on the web page, sthelens.ac.uk, and there is a tab there for apply. This webinar is just about English and maths, but this slide here just tells you the full array of subjects which you can study at college. We support you at college, and I'm not sure of the age of the people who are watching, but if you're age 16 to 18, and you've just finished your year 11, it has been a very strange end to your formal education at school, and we're aware of that. And what we want to do is make the transition as easy into college and to support you. So to do that, we give a free breakfast. That is if you arrive in college 10 minutes before your lesson. So if your lesson is due to start at 9 o'clock, as long as you're in college by 10 to 9, we will be able to provide you with a free breakfast. There are a number of free college bus routes which bring you straight in just for college students and will take you home at the end of the day. But as well as that, you will be liable for a free Arriva bus pass. That's a term time bus pass, which can enable you to travel on public transport at term time. Various student discounts, and some students are due an additional bursary dependent on circumstances. So please during enrolment ask about that. Free college lunch and assistance to buy course equipment and uniform. For English and Maths, there will be no uniform. You wear your own clothes. And again, as I say, it has been a strange year. These are members of our safeguarding and wellbeing team. There are specialists there who can deal with things like mental health support, financial assistance, and so on. So if you do fall into that category and you would like to link with one of these workers, please link with us now. I'll give you my email in a moment during the chat column whilst the other tutors are speaking, and we can sort of help your transition by linking you with some key workers at the moment. And just finally, this is the Get Social information with us. So we have information on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but primarily the web page. It's crucial, and this is the most important thing which I say to you, that we have your correct email and telephone number, because that's the ways that we're communicating with students to update them about the enrolment process, start dates and such like. In other webinars which we've had, students have asked, well, what will enrolment look like? And that's a really good question. And we're not yet completely certain. We're guided completely by the government guidance which comes along, which does change very often, things like distance in space and so on. But the way which enrolment will be happening, and there will be a September start for college, that's the main thing. And the way which enrolment will be happening will be published on the web page, but also we will email it to you and contact you via phone. So please make sure we have your up-to-date details. Okay, I'm now going to pass you over to Andrea and Colin, who are going to tell you all about studying English and Maths at St Helens College.
Hi, so we're going to just share a presentation with you in a second via another screen, and I think that should be visible now.
Yep, we can see that.
Okay, great. So should we just do it like that? Can't see how to make it full screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, right. So we'll just introduce ourselves, and then we'll talk through. I think it's a little bit of the English stuff first, and then a little bit about maths at St Helens. So my name's Colin Salmon. I'm the maths manager for the St Helens College campus. And
I'm Andrea BC, and I'm the English manager at St Helens and the STEM campus. So we've both worked at the college quite a number of years now. So we're fairly well acquainted with the college and all the staff. So I say we might have adults in here as well. This is mainly for young people, this slide. So under the new government guidance and the conditions of funding, any student who hasn't gained a grade 4 or a grade C or has a level 2 functional skills, they need to continue studying English and maths until they achieve that grade 4 or level 2 functional skills. And our aim in college is for learners to achieve the grade above what they come in with. Obviously, we want to stretch learners to achieve that grade 4, but if learners only come in with the grade 1 or 2, then the realistic expectation is for them to achieve the next level up within that year. Some students do jump up a couple of grades, and that's absolutely amazing. And we always do stretch learners, but the expectation is to go up 1 grade per year. And dependent on your GCSE grades when you get them on the 20th of August will depend on what programme you go on for your English and maths. You may go on to GCSE or you may go on to functional skills. And functional skills goes right from entry level right up to level 2. And it's just really what is best for the learner. Some learners, it's best for functional skills level 2 because they may go on to apprenticeship. Others, GCSE is the route for them. So it is done on an individual basis and also a curriculum basis as well. Anything to add?
No, just to say it's always flexible as well. So on the subject of whether people are doing GCSE or functional skills, if people are, for example, enrolled onto functional skills and we find after a time that we think actually they'd be able to manage doing the GCSE in this academic year, then we do move them onto the GCSE. You won't be left on if there's a particular reason, for example, why you haven't got a GCSE, but you do have the skills to get the GCSE. You won't necessarily be put into functional skills. We'll assess you and decide what's best for you, and it can always be changed if other information or things come to light.
Yeah. And obviously the situation this year has gone on predictor grades, so it's a little bit unusual and it's never happened before. But if you don't get the grade that you wanted to get or expected to get, then that's not a problem. There is always, you can always come and do it, and we will be doing November resits. We're still waiting for more information from the government, so November resit could also be an option for you as well. Again, that will be done on an individual basis, and we will look at that once we've got more information from the government about November reset and the autumn series. But it is an option. Okay, so for English, you will study 3 hours per week. And this is both for young people and adults. So the plan, which may change with anything that happens before September, is you will have a 3-hour lesson for your English. For GCSE, we split the year up into papers. So paper 1 we will study from September to December, and you will do regular assessments on those exam questions during that whole first term. Then from January to April we will be looking at paper 2, again being regularly assessed right across the term. And then after April, we just spiral the exam questions and we do complete revision on the whole of paper 1 and paper 2 in that term just before the exam. In terms of functional skills, and this is for all levels, again, you will have 3 hours per week and you will study 3 modules regardless of the level. And those modules are reading, writing, and speaking and listening. And those modules also fit in with the GCSE. So if you are doing functional skills level 1 and level 2, you are building up skills that you will use in GCSE. So it's almost like a stepping stone up to GCSE, really.
Okay, so for the maths, it's quite similar in terms of the amount of study that you do. It's going to be 3 hours a week, whether you're doing GCSE or functional skills, but the way that we split up the work is slightly different. So there are 12 foundation units on the GCSE that everybody who's doing GCSE will study. And that takes you up to grade 4, which is the required pass that the government looks for in terms of moving on to the next level of study for your study programme or applying for certain jobs and things like that. There are 4 extension units that you can do if you complete those foundation units and you find you know, that you're able to move on and do something a little bit more challenging. And that takes you up to grade 5. But if you want to go beyond grade 5, you have to do the higher paper. Now, it's around sort of just after Christmas time that we would look at trying to determine whether or not people are going to be able to sit the higher paper who would like to do that. So that's something that you'll need to talk to your teacher about, but we do have the facility to offer it. And that's both for young learners and for adults. The only thing that comes with the higher paper is that if you are going to try and attempt that, you have to be aware that you can't get below a grade 3 or you just don't grade at all. And because the questions are a lot more difficult and there's a lot more material that you need to cover, you'd need to attend optional kind of additional classes to be able to access that and to cover what you need to do. Functional skills, all levels, same 3 hours per week, and there's 12 units of work that you do to take you from the beginning to the end of the course. The way functional skills is examined is a little bit different because you can only do the GCSE once or twice next year. Of course, we'll be offering it in November as well. But you can only do it at those times that the government says the exams are going to be put on. With functional skills, it's a little bit more flexible. So you can attempt the functional skills exams pretty much as many times as you want throughout the year, up until the end of the year. And you can sit those at a time to suit you a little bit more. So it might be during your normal lesson time, it might be during an evening at some point. We'll try to fit it around you to make sure that it's something that works for you. Okay.
So your classes then, you will have 1 3-hour class per week. Attendance is really important in your English and maths, and it's expected that you will have 95% attendance. We work really closely with the vocational areas, so vocational areas will know as soon as you have missed a lesson, and they will chase up your attendance as well. We work really, really closely, so it's not like your English and maths is a completely separate part of your course, it's part of your study programme. If students miss any lessons, they can go to a learning lab, which will explain what that is in a moment, to catch up any work. Where we can, we stream classes, so we try and put students that are in the same level. So we might put grade 3s together in the same class, grade 2s together in the same class, and we will do that where possible. As I said previously, you will sit regular assessments every couple of weeks, and that's so we can track your progress. And your progress is reported to your vocational teachers, to your parents, to heads of departments. And if we find that you are not making progress, then we will put interventions into place as soon as possible so we can improve your progress. There's also a number of revision sessions that are on every half term that students can attend, and usually they are really well attended during half term to help with that extra revision.
Okay, so one of the other ways in which we offer people support is the sessions that we call learning labs. So the learning labs are spread across the week, and at any point that you've got a free on your timetable, at any point that you're not in your vocational lessons or your English and maths lessons, there will be someone in the English and maths learning lab there to support you with any difficulties that you're having. So you can go there with your progress books, with the progress tests that you've been doing, and show them what you're having trouble with, and they'll give you the support that you need on it. The sessions can be one-off, so if you've struggled in a particular lesson, you can just turn up there, you don't have to book a slot, and you can get help to make sure that you don't fall behind. Or if you find it really works for you to have a little bit of extra regular support, one of the most effective things that some students do is actually turn up there to a particular slot regularly, so that one of those tutors can get to know them, get to know how they need to be supported and helped, and kind of work with them throughout the whole of the course, helping them to pass. That gives you your best chance of passing. And that's a resource that would ordinarily one-to-one lessons with a teacher would cost you a lot of money. But that is something that we provide free to anybody that wants to access those learning labs. And it can really help you get through your qualification.
Yeah, in English as well, we do a regular walk and talk and mock session. Any young people in school will probably be familiar with these. So this is where we walk and talk students through a mock exam, and a lot of students come to this regularly, and again it impacts exam results, because you're ready for the exam then, and we practice model answers. So that's something that's on regularly across the whole year that any student can come to.
Okay, so for maths, one of the things that we always ask for is that people are ready with the right equipment. This year, with the precautions that we're having to take regarding coronavirus and reducing the chance of transmission, this is particularly important, because what we don't want to have is a big box of resources in each classroom that every class throughout the day, maybe 3 or 4 different classes, are rummaging their hands through and sharing across the college. So it's really important that you bring this particular set of equipment with you to each of the lessons. So a scientific calculator, a geometry set, and a pen and pencil. And if you want to, you can buy that from the college. The scientific calculator by itself from a supermarket would probably cost about £8 or £10. You can get all of that from the college, including a revision guide, for £10. If you want to then, if you do sometimes struggle with organisation or remembering to bring things, you can just leave that in your maths classroom inside a plastic wallet, and your maths teacher will look after it alongside your book, and then you've got it there for yourself every lesson. So that's a little investment that I would recommend you to make right at the beginning of term, so that you don't have to worry every lesson about finding someone you can borrow something off. And like I've said, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for us to lend equipment out this year, because we just have to be careful about having items of equipment that lots of people are handling over the course of the day.
Just another couple of things to mention as well that we've changed during this current situation, and how we're going to be moving forward is using Microsoft Teams. Now I know your vocational area is going to be using that as well, but you will have a Teams group for each of your classes, including maths and English. And you know, a lot of our assessments will be done on there. You'll be using it as a notebook and be uploading assignments, but that will be just for your particular class. So it's a new piece of technology that we're going to be using moving forward. That will hopefully you know, enhance our teaching and learning. Anything else?
Only one other thing to mention about the maths. This is relating to the higher paper. Of course, you will have to study maths and English if you have not yet got your grade 4 or a level 2 functional skills, but you can opt to study maths, and I think the same is probably true for English, isn't it? If you have already got the grade 4, but you would like to go further and you would like to get an even better grade, that might be for a university application or for a particular job you've got in mind, or just to improve your CV and your skills overall. So if you're not automatically enrolled for English and maths when you go to enrolment, but you'd like to improve those skills and keep developing, then just contact either myself or Andrea, and you can either try to get a higher grade in the English, or for maths, you've got the option of trying to get a higher grade in your maths, or if you've got a good enough maths grade already, looking at doing core maths alongside your main subject. Core maths is like, it's kind of like a mini A-level that sits alongside any other vocational course. And it's maths, it's advanced maths that's focusing just on the maths that you would use in employment or in the real world. So it's a great qualification, and that's something that we're trying to encourage people to take up this year, because it could just be really helpful to people. I think that's everything from me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. If you'd like to, there we go. Thank you. Right, that was really informative. I've got a couple of questions myself, and if any of the attendees have got any questions, if you can just type them please in the chat facility or the Q&A. I would like to ask about this core maths. I didn't know that existed. Is that free for students?
It is, yeah. That's free for anybody that would like to take that up.
Okay, and is that...
That's for young learners, sorry. That's free for young learners. So it's not available for adults at the moment, but young learners can sign up for that for free.
Okay, and is that certificated? That's sort of something worthwhile, not just having...
It is, yeah. That's a level 3 qualification, and it is counted as equivalent, I think, in UCAS points to an AS level. Oh,
brilliant. Okay, so that's really handy for students to know. Right, okay. Any questions? I'm just looking on the chat facility. None coming up as yet. Would you two just like to put in your email addresses in case anyone wants to get in contact?
type in mine as well.
Because
I'll do it on the phone.
sometimes people think of things sort of once the webinar's finished, but also because these are going to be released for people who've missed the session. So then people will have a chance to, there we go. The email addresses are both on the chat column for you. Okay, well, if there's no questions then, I'll end the webinar here. But it's been nice to see Andrea and Colin, and thank you attendees for attending, and we'll see you hopefully sometime soon on the other side, whenever that is. But just to reiterate from my part, please make sure we've got your correct contact details, because that's how we'll let you know more about enrolment. Okay, thanks then. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.